Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattletales from Tales from the Vector. Another entertaining story for you today. All right, here we go. This is a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. Also, this is a general collective reading, so just be aware parts may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and just leave the rest. All right, we do have the underlying energy for this reading. From the bottom of the deck is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is talking about someone wanting to expand their horizons. This is someone standing at the turret of their castle, and they feel like they have the world in their hands. But the problem is that they live in a small place. So they feel like a big fish in a little pond. This energy, the wands represent the element of fire, and the wood wands feed the fire. So this is about taking passionate action. And quite often this reminds me of an entrepreneur who wants to expand their business, maybe franchise. They're successful where they're at, but they know that if they really want to expand, they're going to have to, maybe move to a bigger place, or this can even say wanting to relocate their home and their family, or maybe just start a family. There's expansion of some sort. And that's the underlying energy from the deck, wanting to expand. And here we have the Page of Wands. So Page of Wands is one of 4 pages in the tarot, and they represent the energy of communication coming through, or some sort of information. Now this could be coming from within you, or it could be an external communication. The pages would work for the king and queen, very young, 7 to 14, depending on how mature they were. Back in those days, you have to remember that the life expectancy was only half of what it is now. So people didn't have long, lengthy childhoods, for sure, and they started working very young. This would be a real coup. This would be someone from the surrounding families, the higher upper class families, and this young man, this energy here, he has a feather in his cap, and he's dressed to the nines here, and he's ready to explore the world. And so this energy is talking about having a lot of enthusiasm, to see the world, go on adventures, explore all the wonders, like these pyramids here. This he is really, really admiring his wand. So you have to keep in mind with this young masculine energy that quite often he is thinking with his little head rather than his big head. So when he brings communication in, sometimes it could be a little scattered because he doesn't have his mind on business a lot of the time. Now, the energy here in the old days, of course, this would always be in person, but now we have so many forms of communication. So you don't have to expect this to come in person. It could come as a phone call, a text message, perhaps there's something, an email, maybe you get something in the post, a delivery of some sort. This could represent being on social media and someone messages you, or maybe you see an event posted and you attend that event, and the next thing you know, you run into the perfect person that you've been looking for whatever reason. And it's also a really good idea to keep your eye out for the news at the top of the pyramid. Take a few minutes every day just to kind of get a quick look what's going on out there, because whatever's going on at the top is definitely going to trickle down to the energy below, and actually the energy below dictates the energy above as well. That you might find like a trend that's happening, or something like helpful for business. Someone mentions a country and you're like, aha, that's where I'll go. So we have the Chariot. This is saying that on the spiritual realm, this is already happening. The wheels are spinning. The Chariot says, hey, you're on your destined path. You're like a tank. Tung, 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 get out of my way. Just running over obstacles. I will get there. And there's no reins because there's no need for them. because this is your destined path. This is the path that you were born to do, basically. This is your destiny. And so this energy is about, it's already happening on the spiritual realm and coming into the physical if it has not as of yet. And this is talking about the Five of Cups. And so cups in tarot are about love. Now, quite often romantic love, but it could be love of anyone or anything. Also, this could be love of something you love to do or be. If this is a romantic love, this quite often will represent third-party energy here, and sometimes even a fourth little gift, a baby out of wedlock. So this also can represent 3 different relationships that you've been in, and this could also represent business relationships or relationships with family members that have disappointed you. And there could be someone saying, hey, just give me one more chance. And you're like, no, I already gave you 3 chances, and you know, I'm not giving you a 4th. 3 strikes, you're out. This also can represent an energy of 3 different people, you know, that you have associated with and not felt like it was productive, that it was a disappointment. Now, the universe is encouraging you to take this cup, but the person here is like, I don't know if I want to. Like, he's, you know, I'm just so disappointed. I don't feel like being disappointed again. I might just give up on love. And like, that would be silly, because look, he's not even that old. and so, you know, you can sit in disappointment for a while, of course, but then eventually you have to get up from underneath the tree. You might have to go to the bathroom or something. And then the moon is talking about some hidden illusions or secrets are rising to the surface. This lobster is climbing out of the water here, and he wants to get on his path. But he is kind of worried because he's got to get past this dog and this wolf that are howling at the moon and stay between these 2 pillars to get through on his path. So he's like, man, I'm so vulnerable, but I have to get moving. And so this can represent your domestic side and if you're a wild child. So it could be saying you've been a little bit too domestic, staying home too much. How are you going to meet anyone, you know, that way? And, you know, it's time to get out and explore more. Or this could say, you know, you're a wild child, and maybe it's time you came home once in a while, check to see if there is anything in the mail. This is representing also an eclipse of the sun and the moon, a lunar and solar eclipse, and the full and new moon energy. This, the eclipse energy, we did have eclipses on the 17th of March, and the 17th of April and the 3rd of May. And those eclipses, that energy will sit with us for about 6 months. So you may, you know, it's percolating in the background there. And it's the kind of energy where you don't notice it so much, but then when you look back 6 months later, which would be around mid-August, you'll be saying, whoa, there was a lot of change happened in my life. I didn't notice. And the reason you didn't notice because you were dealing with all the change. This is talking about the 4 of Swords. The swords in tarot represent your thoughts. It's the element of air. This is talking about your mental intelligence and discipline of your mind. This person has gone for sanctuary into a church. He wants to meditate and pray and connect with the Most High. He is, you know, he knows that he needs to feel with his heart. What does his heart tell him to do? And then combine that with his logic. This is putting his mind to rest. So the way to discipline your mind is to force it to be quiet. And this, you know, if you do it enough, eventually your mind is quiet when you need it to be, so that you can get in touch with how you feel, not just how you think. And so this can represent, you know, wanting to go inward and find out what your authentic desires in your heart are. And if you can get your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind to all work together and plug into your heart, then you will have, you know, you'll be able to get in touch with your heart's desires and put your mind to peace. On the window here on the stained glass window is the word Pax, P-A-X, and that represents peace of mind. And we have the Page of Swords. This energy is talking about communication now coming in. And of all the 4 pages, he's the only one who is not looking at his element. He he already knows what the logical question is, so he is turning away from the logic, and he wants to feel intuitively what would the answer maybe be? What would be a creative solution for this logical problem? And then he would apply that logically to the situation. And so, but this is saying that there's some sort of communication or a message coming in. Quite often this energy can talk about, there could be an investigation going on. There could be an energy of maybe technology being used. Perhaps you or someone else has hired a private detective. This energy can talk about, hidden cameras, technology like that, like mics, that sort of energy. And this is also talking about someone who it might be an aha moment, like this is a breath of fresh air, and you might just all of a sudden be thinking, okay. And then all of a sudden when you take your mind off of it and you're just maybe washing dishes, and all of a sudden it comes to you, aha, I have it. I know exactly what I need to do. That's the energy. It can be a thought coming from yourself. And then, that it would be from meditating. And so if you are meditating and you're frustrated because nothing came through, just go for a walk, go, let it go. And it will come upon you when the time is right. You might even see something like in a book, or you might be drawn to a certain book and read a couple pages and go, well, that's the information I needed. Or you decide, okay, I'm going to turn, watch some TV or watch a video or some show. And in the show, it's like, oh, that's it. That'll work. It's, look for just different, intuition works in that way. It guides you in ways differently than from just, how you would regularly receive messages from people. And then we have strength. So this is talking about having the strength and the courage to be able to move forward. And this young woman is reaching into this lion's mouth. This is a mature lion. And this energy, he's got his tail tucked under. He's allowing this. And, it's dangerous. I mean, if he decides he doesn't want to allow it anymore. But she is determined, and the lion knows that. And this represents fears that you've been carrying possibly for a long time. And she wants to get to her infinite potential. So she's forcing herself to face her fears and be able to, and she's doing it often, like as often as she needs to, because she really wants to reach her goals. And this is, I'm building a pyramid here. So this is, where we're sort of at here. So we've got, the Page of Wands coming in with some sort of information about some sort of passionate action. It could be, hey, the Chariot left the spiritual realm. You're on your path. It's happening. Getting over this disappointment, whoever that concerns. And then making sure you use your intuition, especially for this blue moon coming up. And we do have the energy of going inward, using your intuition again here, and facing fears. Maybe going inward like that, when you face your shadow side, it can sometimes bring up old fears, and that's a good thing. It's okay. Just take a deep breath and work through it. And we have the Page of Pentacles. So we have 3 pages here. There could be some energy coming in from this, the pages 7 to 14 and then 14 to 21 might be significant. Elementary school, high school, university, going to college. That it could be coming from someone that you met during those time frames, or maybe it could be about when you were in those time frames. Doesn't have to be. It could be like 7 years ago, 14 years ago, 21 years ago. But those numbers are significant when the pages come up. Also keeping in mind that these are archetypes, so they're not gender specific. So this is representing, in the old days, these would always be male, but this could be a female in her masculine energy. If it's, sometimes it could say whoever's delivering the message is, someone who's more of that age. And we have the Seven of Swords. Yeah, it's interesting because even if you just sort of are walking, maybe you're walking down the street and you're just coming back from running an errand or whatever, and you notice, someone young and you're like, I know that person, but you can't put your finger on it. It could be someone's child, and and you're like, oh, I just had a situation like that coming home from grocery shopping, where I was like, I know that person from somewhere, but I think it was just child of someone that I've done business with in the past or whatever, and I maybe saw them once. I have a tendency to remember faces, so it could be something just as simple as that, and then it makes whatever, then that reminds you of that person, and maybe they're the person that you need to call to be able to get something done. The intuition works in those very off, mysterious ways. And this is the shift disturber. He's been coming into the readings again lately. He was out for a while. He gave us a little bit of relief, but he's back. And so this energy is sneaky energy coming in. This is someone who has planted 2 swords here, and he's sneaking away with 5. We don't quite know why he's doing it. I don't know if he knows why he's doing it. He's a walking contradiction, and he's a shift disturber. He has a red hat and bright red boots. So if he's stealing these swords, he's doing it in broad daylight, and everybody can see him. But this could be, the swords, remember, represent your thoughts, how are your thoughts expressed through words, whether that be written or that be verbal. And this energy can be sometimes like intellectual material being stolen, maybe, or patents, or someone sitting at their desk pushing paper, and it looks like they're doing their job, but they're actually doing white-collar crime. It could be some sort of energy. It doesn't have to be that type of energy. There's a lot of stories coming through here, and what bothers me about this energy is that he's not looking where he's going. He's looking back at the past, and he's moving forward, and it's the way he's holding these swords, because I've never seen anyone hold swords like this. This is so dangerous. If he slips and falls, and he could trip so easily because he's not looking where he's going, and if he could really hurt himself. And if he's that dangerous with his own energy, do you think he's going to be any safer with yours? I don't think so. So this is kind of, like, what are you doing, dude? And then this is talking about being hard at work. So this, out of all the pentacle cards, the pentacles do represent the energy of health, wealth, and happiness in 3D. And of course, pentacle energy does include money for sure. Money's a big part of that. But this particular card is talking about not just about, it's, okay, let me say this again. The pentacle energy is not just talking about money usually, it's talking about lifestyle. Because you could have all the money in the world and still not have love in your life, or have the energy that you want. And so this is specifically talking about, it could be about lifestyle too, but it's the only card in the pentacle energy where the person is literally pounding out the coin. So they're actually making money, and it's following this card. And I'm wondering, is this dude focused on, like, he's, everybody's like, wow, Joe is such a good worker. He comes in an hour early and leaves an hour late. I've never seen such dedication. He's always at his desk. He doesn't even take lunch sometimes. Yeah, he's busy, all right. He might be busy making money here. And the reason why I'm picking this energy up is it's sitting right here on the Chariot. And sometimes the Chariot does represent law enforcement coming in. This can represent, like, the black and white sheriff cars. In the States, they would call them the black and whites in the old days in the movies. In the black and white movies, they would call them the black and whites. And, not all police forces have black and whites anymore, but I think they still do. The sheriffs still do in United States. But in any case, also, in the old days, they used to always put people who were in jail, they would put them in horizontally striped uniforms, like black and white like this. And that was, when you wear any horizontal stripes, or if someone wears horizontal stripes, energetically, it weakens the energy, because horizontal stripes break up the energy. And so it weakens the person. So that's kind of, that energy is coming in. So making money on top of the chariot energy here, and right after following this possible thief. So there could be some sort of energy around that, but there's not a whole lot here saying that. It could be an investigation though. Is it a legal investigation? I'm not sure. It's hard to say. It could be a private detective. Yeah, someone has their eye on you. Look at this. We have 4 pages. That's unusual, really, to have 4 pages. This is talking about a lot of energy of people that you've known since you were young, like around that age. And you may not have seen these people for a very long time, but it's basically saying this could, whatever this energy is, it's definitely coming in from the past, because this is talking like how many we have. Do we have all 4 pages or just 3? No, we have all 4 pages. Yeah, I feel like this energy definitely is talking about energy from when you were, possibly in elementary school, high school, people you met then, in college, family members, because you usually know them from the time you're little till, well, whenever. But this is, someone has their eye on you. And this generally means in a romantic way, but it also can represent someone from the past that there was something fishy going on in your relationship. So, the Page of Cups, if it's a cup of love, this quite often represents, he knows there's plenty of fish in the sea, and but he has his eye on this one. The thing is, this can sometimes represent online dating. Be very careful that you know who you're dealing with, because this can also represent someone coming in, they've got their eye on you. How do they have their eye on you? Hopefully not through hidden cameras and that type of energy, but it's with this energy and like all 4 of the pages, it's kind of, it's different. I don't think I've ever had a reading where in 2 lines I have all 4 of these younger people here. It's odd. It's odd. And, especially if you don't have any teenagers at home, or that, that type of energy around you. Like if you have a teenager at home and there's friends coming over, well, that makes sense. But if you're someone that hasn't had teenagers around for some time, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But we're going to keep going. We have an earth angel here. So this is talking about being patiently, being on your path of glory. The sun here represents God's energy. In the Bible, it says there's 144,000 angels that come down to earth to make the earth a better place. The temperance energy, the Bible speaks of this as how important it is to not have a bad temper, and to control that energy, because it stops you from being able to move forward when you are in that energy. And so this is talking about staying on that path of glory. This earth angel is dipping their foot in the universal waters, adding their own special talents and gifts, and then grounding that energy on earth. And look, where they have their left foot here grounded on earth, there's already flowers growing. So it's working. The earth angel is bringing more beauty to the world. Unlike this dude, as soon as we have the earth angel, now we have some temptation coming in. And look where the temptation is sitting, right on the shift disturber, and making money, and law enforcement possibly, and disappointment in love. Oh, Yeah, interesting energy. So the devil energy is talking about temptation, giving into temptation. These two lovers are yoked to each other and then they're chained to Saturn's box. The devil is crouched between them. This is representing giving up your choice to the devil. He comes first. And, human beings always have choice. And unless they sell their soul to the devil, which, by the way, you can't really sell your soul to the devil because your soul belongs to God, but you can sell your choice to the devil, and that's a totally different matter. So some sort of temptation has come in about this. I feel like, boom, look where this energy is, right? And when the devil comes up like this, I always cover the devil. I want to. You're not going to get the truth from the devil. The devil is very manipulative energy, so I always cover it. I want to see: does the devil send someone in? What minion does he send in to do his dirty work? Does God cover that? I mean, we've got an earth angel, and then we got the devil. Boom, just like that. Let's see. Look at this. This is talking about, I feel this is talking about the earth angel being victorious over the devil energy. So maybe the devil tried to tempt the earth angel and the earth angel's like, F off, EF off, external force. So when it's an external force coming at you, when instead of asking, what if they do this, what if they do that, and being in fear, it's more like, what the EF happened here? EF off. That's the energy I'm getting. The earth angel doesn't swear. So, usually. So then this is talking about her being victorious over this energy. This is talking about victory. There's several people that are in the background. They're disgruntled because this energy came out as the leader, and the devil was not able to convince the earth angel to turn her back on God. And so this energy is now, she was victorious and staying on her path. And there's at least 5 people in the background there. Could be these 5 swords of energy. I just did I'm working on the beginning of the month astrological readings, and I've done 6 now, and it was just in the Virgo reading. I think it was the Virgo reading where there was something about 5 competition. Oh yeah, it was competition. It was this disappointment energy, and it was coming out that it wasn't just a third party, it was probably like 5 different people, or, that, and we have that again. So I don't think, and this card came out as well. I don't remember this card coming out. Sometimes my readings blend into each other, but I like to take them each new. But sometimes okay, I'll remember that. I don't ever remember having 4 pages ever come out like this. And I definitely feel that there is an energy here of it's unusual, and that's why it's caught my eye. So this is the earth angel is victorious because she has learned to rein in her emotions and discipline her mind, go after her heart's desires, and be in a leadership role. And she's these people, some of them are disgruntled looking, but they have to admit, no, she can't. She held her shift together and came out the winner here. And there's a lot of opportunity coming in. So this card can be a little bit weird. These cups have different gifts in them. One's a snake, one's a mushroom. What is that about? But there's different energies here. There's a laurel wreath. There's flowers. There's beauty. I can't remember what these 2 are. I'm going to look into this card a little bit more because it's starting to... I feel I'm missing something when it comes to this card. But this person is like a black hole sucking in, this energy is sucking in opportunity. And I really do feel like it's like a black hole, like you're the center of your universe, and you have to put your own spin on this. So, the same, 25 other people could take that same laurel wreath here and go do something with it in their own way, and you could still always come out the winner because of the way that you do it. It's that type of energy. Everybody would have a different way. Everybody has different qualities that, you know, that they bring into the energy. And so this is about putting your own spin on it and seeing. A lot of times this can represent, a lot of these cups are definitely challenges. They're possibilities disguised as challenges. But the more challenging they are, quite often, the better the outcome if you manage to get through it. And I find when I look back at when the blue moon energy comes through, I really do have noticed that in my life. I've noticed that when there's a blue moon, it can be like really kind of weird energy like this. Like just like this, like where are all these adolescents hanging out in this reading for? You know, it's a different energy, and it's like that where it'll get you thinking about something. It doesn't really matter, but it's kind of like, I wonder what that's about, and it kind of bugs you at the back of your mind. There's something here that I'm missing, and so it might have something to do with this cup. But yeah, it's talking about that energy. I'm going to look into this card a little bit more, sit with it a little bit more. I do feel like you know, there definitely is possibilities here. They're gifts, but they're you know, sometimes people can be overwhelmed with having this many at once and feel like it's too much energy, and then end up doing nothing, because they're like, I don't know which one to pick, you know. And then we have here, we have the conflict coming from the outside. And this is talking about cutthroat energy. Interesting. Maybe some of these, like we have 7 cups here and we have 7 swords. Do we have any other 7 energy here right now? No, but we have 5 swords and we have 5 wands. There's something going on here. I haven't figured it out yet, but it'll come to me eventually. It might be after this reading is over, unfortunately. But then if that happens, it'll probably show up in the next reading. So this is cutthroat energy, having to take a risk sometimes. This person has just had, you know, a fight with these 2 people. And it's like, any other takers? Because I'll fight for what's mine, and that's the earth angel. A lot of people don't realize that if you push an earth angel and they're on their destined path, they will have, and they have to fight, then they will. And so this can also talk about inner conflict as well as outer conflict. Outer conflict breeds inner conflict, and inner conflict attracts outer conflict sometimes. So it's a vicious cycle. And this can be talking about, remember I said about hanging your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind. So the subconscious mind is formed by the time you're 6 or 7 years of age. And this is really the thoughts of the people that were in charge of your care. You think about a baby. Do you remember anything about when you were a baby? Probably not. And most people don't. Under the age of, you know, kindergarten age, a lot of people don't have a lot of clear memory. So we have to rely on the people that were in charge of our care at that time to tell us what we were like, the pictures we see, videos, etc. But we don't really have a strong memory of it. Yet, that energy is heavily imprinted on us. You think about a newborn baby, what they learn just in the first year alone. You know, they soak in their environment like a sponge. And so this is heavily imprinted on us well into our adulthood. And you know, when we get into conflict or we're anxious or something is, you know, we get excited quite often, we're triggered, we tend to fall back on the subconscious mind. It's the first one that pops up. And it's not really the most reliable, because it's really the thoughts of the people that were in charge of our care when we were a baby, not our own thoughts. And then we have the unconscious mind, which is talking about your spiritual needs. And from this, you know, a lot of people will say, yeah, I'm a human being with a soul. But from the soul's perspective, you are actually a soul traveling in a human body as your vehicle. And, you know, if your soul does not feel like their needs are being met, it starts getting really loud and arguing with the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. Your conscious mind is, I have a handle on this. I remember this. I got in a fight with these two dudes, and I cleaned their clock. And I will do it if you try and attack me also. I can tell you exactly what happened, and I have a good memory of it. So if the conscious mind, as I said, subconscious and unconscious plug into the heart, then we're working towards our authentic desires, and I feel that's the energy. Earth angels aren't much into fighting, but if they have to, they will. And then we have this energy of having a closed mind. So having a closed mind right now is not a great energy to be in, especially when we've got this blue moon energy. And we also have some energy coming up that's really also very unique. And that energy is Venus and Jupiter getting together for one day on June 9th in the sign of Cancer. And a lot of astrologers are saying this is the most lucky day of the year. And some are even saying of the decade. And it's lucky in love and money. And so, having an open mind is a good idea. Sometimes this card is talking about, there's a saying, because you have eyes, you cannot see. So this could sometimes be representing someone that is saying, don't bother me, I'm meditating. And I'm trying to see with my third eye. Because, even if you are, a lot of people say, well, if I'll believe it when I see it. Well, you really don't see the full spectrum of light. The human eye can only pick up a small bandwidth of that. Like my cat can see a lot of things that I can't see a lot of the times. And when I'm doing readings, a lot of the time she'll be chasing around after all sorts of shit. And I'm like, okay. She gets like, sometimes she gets in moods where she doesn't want to be around the readings. Not that often. She usually wants to be on my lap and be purring. But this reading, she got up and left. And so, she might be seeing something else out there. But it's cats can pick up energy that we don't pick up as quickly. And so this is talking about not even when you think you're seeing something, you're not seeing the whole picture a lot of the time. This is this or that energy. It's talking about, sometimes this can get to more like my way or the highway. There's only two ways of doing things, and this person doesn't want to do either of them that way. So they're sitting here and they're contemplating it. And this, the way they're sitting here, this is talking about leaking energy from the base chakra. With your feet turned out like this, your feet are better off straight forward, so you can get up and take action at a moment's notice if you need to. This is leaking masculine and feminine energy, and also the arms are crossed over the heart. This is saying that this person feels vulnerable at this time, and they don't want to open their heart up, to leave it open to anyone. And also that the right arm is holding the left arm back. So this represents logic, and this represents intuition. So there's, this is open your mind and allow the intuition to flow, and you'll come to creative solutions with ease. And you have to open up your heart. So this is basically saying, being in this energy, then you're going to continue to, you don't want to be in a position where you're constantly fighting for what should just come easily to you. And the mind shouldn't be a battlefield. We have a reward if you open up to the energy and follow your intuition. This is saying a great time. There's a big reward of pentacles coming in here. And this is from the Most High and the universe, the astrological influences all coming together. So long as you've been on your path of glory, this is a reward of a much better lifestyle coming towards you. And it's an ace, and so aces always are bringing in new energy. This gives you a lot more energy and passion. This is the first night that we have out here. So this knight is the page, the Knight of Wands. This would be a younger version, older version of this page. Interesting. So there could be a Knight of Wands energy coming in now, someone that you knew back then or at some point. And this is a rebel with a cause. They're coming in with some sort of information, and they've got this big plume on the back of their helmet here. And this is talking about, this could represent impulsive energy. We've got a lot of passion coming in here. But you can see he's reining his horse in, just like this energy here. He's got it reined in, and his horse is fighting him. This is your heart, heartfelt energy and passion. And this is representing the passion. And so this is the page as he grew up. So he did make it to knighthood, and he still is working for the King of Wands. King, Queen, the court of the King of Wands. So that's talking about someone now that would be over the age of 21, and still now they would be traveling far and wide, and they would be protecting the palace, doing, night shift instead of page shift. And then judgment has been called. So yeah, the Knight of Wands is a rebel with a cause. And so the judgment from the Most High has been called. The angel is trumpeting the horn. And the ancestors are literally climbing out of their box. They're so happy, like, yes, finally, we have judgment called on this situation, whatever this is. It's something to do with this big pentacle here. And the descendants they're waving back and forth across the veil. Yay, judgment is here. This can sometimes represent skeletons coming out of the closet, Pandora's box being opened, that type of energy. And this is the end of a cycle then. This is, okay, when the truth is coming out, judgment's been called. There's going to be a whole new world opening up now. Because of this energy, this cycle being over. So when the World card comes out, it means the Fool starts their journey at the 0 point. And when the World card comes out, it's saying you've been successful at completing your mission here. Congratulations, there's a reward coming in for you. It's going to be a whole new world for you. You deserve this, enjoy it. And look at the sun at the very top here. Gotta love that energy. That's awesome energy. Yeah, and that tempting, trying to tempt the devil, is here. Just want to show this here. The devil trying to tempt. I feel that's someone trying to come in. It could be someone from the past. It could be someone, it could be this energy. That someone you've known from the past, or it doesn't have to be, but it's almost delivering the message here, or it could be that they're involved. You would have to, use your intuition there. We do have the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups, and we have an Earth Angel. All this information coming in, and then we have that this same page now is a grown-up. This would be someone like, who's at least probably 21, over 21, and has so this would be maybe even 14, 15 years later. They show up in your life again. Someone like that, and they come in and they're talking about some judgment, and it's saying God sent them. So the rebel with a cause, I feel, is connected to God's energy. And he's still working for the King of Wands, Queen of Wands, that court. Yeah, and so that's on this energy here. Now, I don't know who the lover is. This could represent where this cutthroat energy is coming from. But we can see now this is coming, the judgment of God and the information coming in on this side. It ends this cycle. I feel this is saying that the people that were involved in this don't want to see this. And they didn't think you would have the courage to be able to get up and go after whatever it was, because there were so many of them and only one of you. But they didn't realize that that God was with you the whole time. You're a child of God. This is the happiest card in the deck, shining light on the whole situation and saying that you're going to be very happy. So, yeah, and the underlying energy. So you're going to be going on an adventure, and it'll be a much better lifestyle for you. A breath of fresh air coming in for you. Really cool. All right. A happy ending. Isn't that awesome? Well, it's happy for the people that weren't making money. But for the ones that were making money, I feel like, yeah, there has been an investigation going on. And it's maybe, I still can't figure out where all these teenagers are coming in. But it'll come to me. If it comes to me and it makes sense, I will post it. And if not, it'll come to me, I think, in another reading. If they have been showing up more in the readings, the pages. I've noticed that in the last week or so, but I just figure that's new, young, youthful energy. I'm going to pay attention a little bit more. I'm going to clarify this for those that want clarification with my Oracle, Tales from the Vector. I started this back in 2007, and in 2020 I completed all the paintings for it. I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com. This is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light, and the numbers on these cards represent the paintings in the order that they are in the gallery. So you can check them out if you want to. I'll put the energy or the information in the box below. And also, I'll put them in the order and the information for the website. And I don't know if I said this is from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. So there's a transition coming, and it could be that you're actually relocating, even to another part of the world, not just a part, across, because there's the international waters this represents. This is long distance. Judgment. Yeah, this is unfettered judgment. This is cosmic judgment. This is God's judgment. And it's coming in twice here, and it's the very first card out. And look at this one, is sitting on the Knight of Wands. That's confirming that this energy, yes, this is the same person. You may have known this person in elementary school, high school. You might have been, that age, and maybe up to about 21. Or maybe you haven't seen them for 7 years, 14 years, or 21 years. But there's some sort of energy coming back in there. And it has to do with God's judgment here. And we have indifference. So this is a karmic space. And this is talking about when people don't care what they have put other people through, or they don't care if they see suffering of others as long as they're doing okay. It's just that, and sometimes causing suffering for others to get what they want because they've become attached to the idea of having something. And so the problem, the attachment is the mother of all the other karmic spaces, because it talks about when you become attached to someone or something, then you have a tendency to make poor choices because you want to keep it so bad. What's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. That sounds fair. And Charlotte's Web is just representing, this could be an elaborate web that they're weaving in their head to justify the reason why, because they're so attached. The Libra energy is coming out. This is talking about being a mature adult, ready to make commitments like marriage, having families, that sort of energy, and we have this here. So you can anticipate a bright future rather than having silly expectations about what marriage is really like. Because marriage is a lot of work. If you've ever been married, you may notice that. Taurus energy is also coming out. I feel that Taurus energy is coming out because of the energy of what was it? We just had the first full moon it was Taurus. So this could be saying it's that moon energy. It's really, really strong, and really, really strong right now. And it's really, if you've ever worked in, at a hospital in the medical field, in the entertainment or the